Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guy, and this is the second last episode of our Pygame Pong game series. And in this video we are going to organize our game a bit better and split it up into multiple files and classes and stuff like that, so that we have got a cleaner code base that we can implement player death and player winning in the next video. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me just go ahead and we can, as you can see, we have got a lot of stuff here, but what I am going to do is I'm going to split this up into a class. So we're going to go ahead and create a class here, which I'm going to just call game. And the reason we are creating this class is because we would like it to be separate, all of our stuff will separate, and we can have separate methods for each of the things we want to do. But perhaps it won't be really wise to have that class in here. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under my explorer and I'm going to rename this game.py to main.py, and then I'm going to go here and create another file called game.py, which is going to actually host our game class. Now you can see we are importing pygame and random here. I'll copy those statements and paste those inside of game.py, and what we will do is we will create yet another file here which we will call constants.py. The reason we do that is because these constants are needed by the main file as well as the game file, so we'll better have them separate here. We'll do that, and we don't really need all of those constants to be separate. We only need the screen width and the screen height, so you might not want to have them. And by the way, I'm going to change this back to 1200 by 900, and you might not want all constants to be here. It's up to you. If you want, you can go ahead and remove these constants because these are not needed by all files, and instead go under game.py and paste those here. Alright, so you can see if we have got our main.py here. In here we are going to go ahead and put another import statement here, like that, and we will import game.py. Now we won't actually import it like that. Instead we'll import it in a different manner. But first let's go ahead and construct the game.py class here, because currently this is just empty. So we will create a class which we will call game, for example, and for now let's just pass because let's leave it empty. And in here we can go up here and say from game, because game is now a module we are going to import, and what we are going to import is going to be game. So this will allow us to access game directly without having to actually specify it like game.game. It will allow us to just say game and not game.game. And now I'm going to go back under game.py. You can see we have got this class here. We are going to define the first method, which is going to be an initializing method. So we are going to say define underscore init, and it's going to take self argument, of course, and yeah, we are going to just pass for now. Now in the init method we would like to initialize all of the things, or all of our variables. So I'm going to cut these values that we have got here, go under game.py, and I'm going to paste those here like that. And we'll need to go here, and I will put this inside of that function as well, and this looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to save this here, and that's quite awesome. So now what we are going to do is go back under main that we have got here, main file, and you can see that we have got a bunch of variables here. We are also going to create a game which we are going to set to game, like, you know, an instance of the game class just called game, and that should initialize all the variables because the init method will be called automatically by Python. Now what other methods the game needs needs an update method and a render method. First of all, let's do the update method. We are going to define update, and the way we are going to do that is first of all, actually I accidentally pressed caps lock. So update, and this is going to first of all take self, but it's going to take another thing which is going to be delta time, which will be a float, and it will also take yet another thing which will be not delta time, but instead what it will be is you know, actually it will not take anything else. So we will only take one argument called delta time, which will be a float, and we need two arguments in the render function, not really in the update function. So I'm going to go here and basically go down here before we update the UI, and this is all of our update code, and let's cut that and go inside of our update function and paste this here, and that looks quite well, and this is all inside of our update function. That's pretty cool. So we have got our update function implemented, but the next thing we need to do is to add another function. Now this is going to be our render function, so let's just go ahead and define and the function is going to be called render, and what it's going to do is it's going to render the screen, but it will take 3 arguments. The first is self, of course, that's not really an argument, but the other 2 arguments are going to be screen, which is going to be of type pygame.surface, and the other is going to be a font, because of course for rendering that we also need access to the font, which will be of type pygame.font actually, like the actual class here. And of course you might want to initialize the font inside of game.py, but I like to leave it that to main.py and instead only handle the actual stuff here, like rendering the actual players and stuff like that, and the other initialization will leave to the main file. So we are going to go here, and I'm going to go under our render function, and I'm going to paste this. And once I save that, you can see that we have got our update UI here. I'm going to actually, let me remove this, and let's also take this whole thing and do it when we are actually doing the UI in the end. After we have done screen.fill, I'll do this, all of this here, and yeah, that looks pretty cool. So this is our render function, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now in here we need to call games function, so we'll call game.render render, and it takes 2 arguments. As you can see, the first one is going to be our surface, which we have called screen, like that, and the second function is going to be, the second argument is going to be our font, and that's pretty much it. Now of course we also need to update the game, so we'll say game.update, and for updating we'll just go here, and for the delta time we'll pass in delta time, like that. And that is quite awesome. Of course we'll need to cut this whole intersect function, because that's not really needed inside of our main file, but instead that's needed inside of our game file, and we won't make it in the class game because it's just a general function. We'll put it outside. Alright, so we have got all of this, and that looks pretty cool. Now in main we don't really need to import random, but we do need to import game from like game. And another thing we need to do is we need to from constants, and we want to import stuff from constants as well, of course, but we will import not something particular, but we'll import all of the constants that we have got by specifying it with an ampersand. And we'll need to do the same thing inside of game, because we need the constants here as well, so we'll do that. Alright, that's pretty cool, and it says that it gives an error, but it should not really. It's just a bunch of problem. It should automatically fix itself. It seems like an IntelliSense problem. Alright, apart from that, it seems like it should work. We have got everything here. However, if I run this, you will find out that it does not work, and the main problem that's going to occur is that all of these are defined as local variables, not class variables, so we need to change that. For this purpose, I'm going to go Control F, and I'm going to find P1 position, and we are going to find P1 position and replace that by self.P1 position. The reason we do that is because of course we want this to be a class variable, and the similar thing is going to be happening for player 2 position, like that. We can just hit replace all, and that's why I waited till the end to do it, so that it did not accidentally put it twice. So we'll do that. And for ball x, we'll just put in ball x here, self.ball x, and I'll just basically go over all of these and do those one by one. So in here inside of game.py, I have made sure all of those are self dot, and whenever you reference them, you need to say self dot player position and stuff like that. And we also need to initialize the rects here, because we are using them later in the update and render function, so they need to be in the class. So for that we will specify player self dot player 1 rect and player 2 rect to be none by default, and then we'll set them when we get update called, and we'll use them in the render function as well. So yeah, guys, that is pretty awesome, and this is pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one, in which we'll implement the final stuff for our game, and that would be pretty much it for this series. So I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for that, and share this video with other people as well, and bye.